It should be.
I don't know what mine is. Hello.
Hi. Good.
Hey, huh? Oh, dear. You can get up. Keep going.
Ryan, I'm not getting any sound.
You get in touch with him.
I don't know.
How's that?
Oh,
Can you hear us now?
Coming through Logan, depending on how I hit the lights.
do I text
Right.
him?
No, I got it.
Brent,
Got
can you hear
sound?
us now?
Huh?
Barely.
What?
Yeah.
You do?
Pledge allegiance. Yes. Did I ask you last time? Okay, you either. We have our technical things taken care of.
Yeah, it should be good.
Good.
You won't be able to hear without. He won't be able to hear without you speaking to the mic.
Okay. Brent, can you hear us now? He's not responding.
He's muted now.
Okay. But he should be able to hear me.
He should be able to hear you.
Okay. Can you hear? Should we start?
Yeah, it's recording. You're good.
Good evening. I'm Mayor Alder. Tonight, it's a special, actually, city council meeting. We're responding to the vote and the need to certify the vote. And so we had to move it to Tuesday night. Tonight is November 18th, 2025. Thank you all for coming. We have Jeff Nebaker, Janelle Seeley, Brent Speth is online, and Carrie Kirk is right here. And David Coons. So I've asked Janelle Seeley if she'll lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. So if you'll please stand. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. David Coons will give us an opening prayer unless there's someone who would like to do here. Okay.
Our Father in heaven, we're grateful to be able to meet together this evening. We are grateful especially for the freedoms, the blessings and opportunities we enjoy in this great country and great community in which we live. We pray that we can come to agreement and make the decisions that we need to this evening, that they blessings would be upon us to have wisdom and to be able to remember and think about the things that we need to pertaining to the subjects at hand. And we say these things in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen. Thank you so much. We truly are blessed in this country. Last week, 2 weeks ago, I was privileged to have our Danish exchange student with his brother and sister-in-law. He lived with me 30 years ago. This was the first time that his family had come to this country, and looking at this country through their eyes was pretty interesting. They loved Walmart. They couldn't believe how much stuff was in Walmart. But they were just blown away by how big everything is in this country and how blessed we are. I let him drive my truck, and his brother he's a mechanic. And I said, "Do you want to drive my truck?" "Oh, yes." And that's the biggest truck he's ever driven. And it's just a Ford F-150. It's not anything big and special. Too bad I didn't have my husband's truck up here. He could have driven that. That's bigger than mine. But we just get kind of used to what we have here in this country and forget that we are so special and so blessed. So thank you for your prayer, David. Let's do our council reports. So David, do you want to start?
Yeah, sure. Not a lot to report. Mosquito abatement is done still. So nothing going on there. We are still meeting and discussing things and preparing for next season, but not a lot to report there. Just wanted to give a shout out to Next Meters. They did a service project at Meadow Ridge Park, cutting back some of the overgrowth, and looks really nice. So
Good.
They did a great job, and they're kind of talking about, I think I might have talked about this before, but they're talking about possibly adopting that park as their semi-permanent service project. So that's
Fabulous.
That's still in discussion. So at least I haven't heard anything official about that.
Yeah.
Well, I don't mean to spread rumors, but I just did. So
But the pressure's on, Abby.
yeah. And I was working with Francois, I think, yeah. So, but yes, thank you. That's great. Let's see, we have, tomorrow I'll be doing the Cache Valley Chamber meeting in place of Mayor Alder. They're doing as I understand it, meeting with the superintendents in the valley and discussing opportunities and possibilities for students and education between educational authorities and city leaders. So that'll be interesting, and maybe have something more to report on that for next time. I think that's about all I've got for now.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Carrie?
The youth council helped get Sub for Santa set up last Saturday. So that's always a favorite service project of mine and of the youth too, to be involved with getting Sub for Santa set up for the season. It gets us ready for the holidays. This month I have responded to more emails than maybe the last 2 years put together. Tons of emailing, lots of things going on. And I want citizens to know, number one, that we're doing our best. Number two, that there are so many things out of our control, because we are subject to state law and federal law. And that although we sit up here at this big, whatever it is, we really are on the same side of the table as you. And we want to do things that are good and right and the best for the city. And sometimes that includes making really difficult decisions that make some people unhappy. And that's all.
Thank you. Janelle?
I have been very busy the last month. I serve on the Cache County Library Board, and that has taken up a ton of my time. Executive Daines, I mentioned this, I think, last time, had proposed defunding the Cache County Library. And so we've been actively looking at an education campaign, trying to give the public good information, trying to reach out to cities across the entire valley. So I've done lots and lots of that, lots of media interviews, and it's been a busy time with the library. I've also spent a lot of time speaking with residents in the Hillcrest Park area. There was a variance that was done the last week of October, and I attended that and learned some things. I've worked on some code revisions, some definition clarifications, and those are on the Planning Commission's agenda tomorrow night. I also went and did Sub for Santa with the youth, and that actually is a lot of fun. I just think that it opens their eyes and it gives them a different perspective to see things from. And it was just, I don't know, it was just really cool to see him unbox like an entire warehouse and organize all these toys and different things. So they did a great job. Yesterday, I attended the Legislative Policy Committee to prep for the legislative session. Some of the things that they anticipate, I think there's 5 bills that are addressing property tax variations and trying to figure out how legislature wants to adjust some of those, but we kind of have to try to look forward and see how some of those bills will impact things. Today was the final day for comment on the state housing plan that the governor's been putting together, and I've been working on reviewing the general plan, and this weekend I'm going to the National League of Cities and Towns Conference in Salt Lake. So that's what I'm up to.
Thank you. Brent?
Hi, can you hear
Hi.
me?
Yes, we can hear you. Can you hear us?
Yes, I can now.
Okay.
Okay, so I sat in, I've also dealt with quite a few emails regarding the situation with the variance that was to be considered up in the Hillcrest subdivision. And we've worked with a lot of people there commenting back and forth and trying to give the standard answer that Ryan has published, and that was good. Also, I sat in on the public hearing on the WUI code, the WUI wildland interface public hearing with fire and state lands, fire and I can't remember what the other F is, FF and SL state lands, and regarding how and the questions that were presented there regarding the implementation of this WUI code and wildland interface. And I think the main thing that I took away from that is they will begin in the 2026 year of assessing a fee. Probably won't be the final fee, but it'll probably be a general fee. At least that's what I took it to be. Mayor, you also sat in on that. Did you kind of gather that was kind of the idea?
Well, this is a special thing that the state is doing. They're fighting so many wildfires, and they need to spread that cost out. And so everyone will be assessed, and you'll be assessed based on how far up the mountain you are and how likely your house is to burn and how big your house is.
Yeah, it'll go on square footage and a lot more coming for us.
My thing is, if they're gonna, my house isn't gonna burn any faster than anybody else's. So I don't know why they're gonna assess me by the size of my house. So there are some things that we can still talk to the state about. I don't disagree with them wanting to put some things in place for us to collect money and have a fund to fight fires, because it costs money to fight fires.
For sure.
But we need to be very careful about what kind of permission that we give them to charge us based on what they think. So we'll keep you posted, but you need to be sure that you are working and reading about this, because it's going to impact you. Everyone is going to be charged an additional fee that will be on your property taxes.
The interesting thing of it is the bill passed. It's Bill 48,
Right.
Senate Bill 48. The bill has passed. The implementation is what we're in right now.
Right.
And that'll be pretty much county by county. So we're working with Nate Thompson pretty much on the implementation and how this is going to happen. But yeah, like the mayor says, it's something each person needs to kind of stay on top of what's going to happen with that.
You'll all be impacted.
We'll
Everyone.
all be. Right. I spent some time on the issue of the First East sidewalk from 300, I guess it's 200 to 300 South area. And the mayor will address that a little bit later on, but I have dealt with some issues with that. That's about all I have to report.
Great. Thanks, Brent. Jeff.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Life is so busy.
It is busy
Um,
for everyone.
but after Janelle's report, I feel like it's busy for
she
everyone.
makes you tired, right?
Yeah, I'm like, well, maybe my life's not so busy because she does so much. So thanks.
Well, she only
for all
has
you
6
do.
children. You have 9.
I know. That's like, do the math on that one. A third more. I don't know. I'm not too good at math. Art's my thing. Lots of emails about, is Hillcrest the rehabilitation?
Yes.
That's okay. Yeah, lots of emails on that. I've been up there actually and talked to residents up there, and I completely understand. After going through there, I don't agree. I know this isn't like opinion time, but after talking to them and before talking to them, it doesn't seem like the place for a business to be running up there, but I'm sure there's a lot that I don't understand. But I have been up there to listen to them and talk to them. And just the trees in front of the Browns, talking to people about that. Just kind of glad I didn't vote for that, because it looks like more than just a little trimming. So
We are going to put a sidewalk there.
yeah, anyway, what did we end up spending? Just curious. Can I ask?
20,000 is what we
We
approved.
spent the whole 20 on that.
I don't know. We probably don't have all the bills yet.
Oh. Okay. Anyway, yeah, hadn't had a chance, but when I saw it, I was kind of shocked. So anyway, that's all I have.
Okay, my turn. Actually, I drove past there today and it's beautiful. I've driven past that corner for 15 years and it is so hard to see around that corner. I've about been hit several times because you have to pull out in the road to get past there. But I think it looks fantastic. That was in the middle of our historic section and it was kind of a mess actually. So I'm glad to see that it's cleaned up. And we are going to put a sidewalk there. And I want everyone in this room to be clear that we are going to put a sidewalk from Center Street up to Canyon Road. It's going to happen. We're doing it. It's coming. And it will make a great addition to our walkable community. So there's been a lot of emails back and forth, a lot of people spending time looking up codes and sending us emails about things. And I'm here to tell you that Ryan has done exactly what we asked him to do, and that is to prepare that area for a sidewalk. He found a way to get some fill that will make it cheaper for us, because quite frankly, all of the things that have gone on with First East have cost every taxpayer a lot more money than it needed to, and we're still going to put a sidewalk in. So that sidewalk will go in, and we're moving ahead as quickly as we can do that to get it done. We are also, in the interest of transparency, we're looking for money to finish all of the unfinished sidewalks in our city. We want a walkable community. We want people to be able to walk someplace on a safe sidewalk and not worry about getting hit by cars. I would like to encourage the groups that have gotten together for First East to put together a campaign to help people on the bench understand that they're going too fast down those roads. It makes them very unsafe. People are not just going 25 miles an hour, they're going 40 miles an hour. And it's not safe. And I would rather you put your time into putting together a campaign to help people understand that it's not okay to go that fast on the roads in our city. So take that for whatever it's worth. But we are building a sidewalk. We are moving ahead. We got grant money because in our general plan and in our transportation plan, people want a walkable city. They've asked us to do that. So that's what we're doing. So all of the things that our council members have reported on, I won't reiterate them, but those are all things that I'm involved in as well. We have a good reputation with the state. There are lots of people in the state. When I show up to meetings, they know who I am. They know what city we're in. They know that we're following the instructions. They know that we're doing what we should be doing as a city. And so it's important for us to be involved in all levels of the county, the state, the cities, so that people know that we want things done the right way. So with that being said, I will entertain a motion to approve the minutes.
I will make a motion to approve the minutes of our last meeting, which was October 15th, 2025.
Okay, I have a motion. Jeff, here's your chance.
I'll second that motion
Okay.
to approve the minutes.
Okay, any discussion?
I did send Ty a few minor errors.
That's,
They have a motion.
Do you know
They've
which
already
ones
been
they were?
corrected.
'Cause I
Like
have a few as well.
Grandview a couple times is one word. I the city or the county clerk or the county, the name of the county executive. Those,
Yeah, it said James and it should have said Danes. Casey Snyder's name is spelled wrong on line 22. Should be an I instead of a Y. On line 124, there was a comment about a survey marker on Spring Creek Parkway, but that was on 100 East, not Spring Creek Parkway. Line 124. On line 162, I think it should have been Brian Olson, not Grant Nelson. No, the transcription was having a hard time this time. Those were the things.
AI missed it. Right.
It got it wrong. That's why I gotta check this stuff.
Okay, did you get those, Ty? Yep. Okay, fabulous. So we have a motion, a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, thank you. Traditionally, what we've done is we've let our public speak, and I will let the public speak if it's about First East. I would prefer that just one person speak about that. We've heard about First East forever. I think we're pretty aware of what's going on. Yes. Just pull it down. There you go.
My name is Cassie Brown Palminteri.
But you have to talk into it. And
Not
I would
not
like,
used to that, sorry.
I would like to make sure that we're talking about First East and sidewalks, and I'm not interested in names of what somebody did or didn't do.
There's a lot to unfold here.
I'm sure there is.
Yes,
And
and
we've
so
we've
I'm
all read the
prepared-
memos, and you get
You
one.
haven't read
Yeah, just
my
give her 2
detailed
minutes.
notes. Have you read my detailed notes? What
No, I have
memos
not.
have you read?
But you have 1 minute, is all I'm going to allow.
Thought it was 2, but.
Okay, this is probably not the way a mayor and city council should conduct their meeting. I really feel, I've mentioned that I thought I would get ganged up on tonight, and that is exactly what is happening, and I don't appreciate it. Jeff, thank you for your comments. And Mayor, may I please speak now without your limitations?
No. This is my meeting, and we do not have to.
Council, would you like her to speak for 2 or 3 minutes? And,
Yeah, I think
Do
we
that?
should give her, I think we should give her.
yeah,
You, Carrie.
thanks, Carrie.
Okay.
I will allow it.
Thank-
Thank you. Thank you.
Stop.
Chair.
Stop.
What do you want me to do, leave?
That's not gonna help. Just let's not waste time. Let's just get going. Versus denying, I could have been 1 minute in, you know. First of all, thank you for allowing me to speak this evening. Bear with me because most of these notes were written to convey in a personal meeting with the city manager. I tried to set up this meeting, but unfortunately he was unavailable. There are 2 main points I'd like to convey. First, Ryan, we ask you to please stop representing us and speaking for us. My husband and myself, my brother and my parents, about the entire tree and shrub removal and placement of sidewalk on the west side of First East. We have heard from city council members, Providence citizens, that you are doing this, and therefore you are misstating fact. As
Wait,
my-
wait. I will not let this go on. I will not let you castigate someone that
These
works
are
for the
facts
city.
I've heard.
Do you know what? That's not what we're doing here. I get it that you're unhappy, but let me tell you,
May I finish,
the
Mayor?
city has had to spend taxpayer dollars.
Finish, Mayor?
Stop. No. The city has had to spend taxpayer dollars.
This is really unfair. This,
I don't have to let you speak.
well, we all pay taxpayer dollars.
You do.
We all have our moment.
It is. Stop.
Read your role, woman.
Let's just
Stop.
let. Carrie, thank you.
Can we just
for-
let her finish, council, and then,
I just will not let Ryan be raked over the coals.
He's not being raped over the coals. These are all facts.
Really?
Yes.
Sides to a story. Read
Stop.
both sides.
Stop.
Just please don't point at people. Let's just be civil. Let's be a community. Let's do the
So
right thing.
can you go forward without accusing
Anyone
Ryan
of
of
anything.
misinformation?
Okay, may I speak the facts? And this has been full of misinformation and deception. And you need to understand that as city council members. Please, there are 2 sides to a story, and I think you would all like to hear both sides. In fairness to your community and your taxpayers.
What is it that,
Please.
let me just ask you this. What
No,
is it you
may I-
want?
May I just finish the notes?
No. Tell me what it is you want.
she wants
Okay,
to finish.
I'd like to finish.
Stop.
This is really not, Janelle, you know the rules. I know you well. You follow the rules, and this is not what's happening here. Please, thank you, Carrie. Please let me finish. As my brother and I have both stated at various city council meetings, we are very concerned and not in agreement with cutting down all vegetation abutting our property line, affecting aesthetics, property value, noise barrier from the street, privacy issues, potential water and flooding issues, and also the ability to enter and exit our garage safely once the sidewalk and retaining walls are in place due to the grade. These issues were also mentioned to Ryan on our call of October 16th, 2025 from Texas, the day after the October City Council meeting. Next, on that phone call, you misled us and misrepresented the City Council's vote. My husband and I both were there. We had you on speakerphone. We told you were on speakerphone that day as we both asked questions, and I took detailed notes. The day after the city council meeting, we had phone calls with neighbors, emails, texts, alerting us that a bid had been approved at the meeting to affect vegetation in front of our home. There's 2 sections in the bid. The green section in the bid, which is from the canal to the Balls property line, and then the north pasture is the red section of the bed from Second South to the canal. We thought the best way to get all the facts would be to talk to the city manager directly. Unfortunately, that was not the case. We had the contractor's bid in front of us and asked you detailed questions about the map within the bid. I specifically asked what the broken red and green lines meant. Is all the vegetation going to be removed from the horizontal red line down to the other horizontal red line? The vertical red line in the middle, there was gaps, and the same for the green section in front of the home. You said, hold on, let me check. You left the phone call, you came back to the phone call, and you said that is correct. As we learned this past Friday, once we arrived here in Utah and after all the work had been completed by the contractor, this statement was not true. We questioned why the Baws were able to keep their sycamores and why we weren't. You stated you weren't sure, but your job was to follow the city council's directive. If that was the case, we said we needed to be there at the property, make sure nothing on the private property was affected. I also asked for a professional survey with pins so it would be easy for the contractor to only work in the public easement. We asked why the rush with so many unknowns, with the feasibility of the project pending water studies and full cost estimates with the retaining walls. You stated because now is when we have free fill from another city project. We arrived at property Wednesday, November 12th. A full survey with pins had not been conducted. Stakes were placed in the ground that didn't appear in a straight line. Even the public works director thought they seemed too far west. The contractor, the public works director, and ourselves agreed on what would be removed and what would stay in the straddling the property line. Mother Nature doesn't grow a tree half on public, half on private. Some things straddle. You, Ryan, arrived later in the day, instructing them to remove the only remaining bush near the property line, giving us any privacy from the road or windbreak to the front of our home. Yes, that was my grandmother's. Oh, well,
I didn't say
John the
anything about
tree
it.
climber will say that is incorrect. And I can give you exactly the quote, because after that was settled, that would remain for the reasons I just stated.
If these are all me, I'd be happy to meet with you. I was at training today. So I wasn't
Ryan,
able to meet
I
with you
tried to
yesterday.
meet with you.
And I told you I could meet with you.
No, you said safe travels back to Texas.
After you said you couldn't meet tomorrow.
Let's just finish the notes, okay? Because it would be most important and we can have further discussions afterwards. John, you told John the tree climber, I found this later, you left the property. You also instructed them to remove that only bush that gives us any privacy from the road in front of our home. And you also instructed them to remove the arborvitae, which we believe is on private property. After you left, John the tree climber was starting to cut that bush down. We went running over. This has been decided upon. It's supposed to stay. Rob Stapley agrees. It's right on the property line. It's our only break from the street. Well, the big guy, the one he says to call him the snowman, he told us to take it down. After the complete removal of vegetation on Wednesday and Thursday at our property, we were told by neighbors that the city council's directive that was voted on and passed in the motion only included the following: Green section, which is that part in front of the home, quote, trimming of trees, end quote. Approximately 17 trees were removed instead of following the motion, including all the brush. Red section, north pasture to canal, removal, quote, removal of brush and weeds, end quote. Approximately 13 trees were removed instead of following the council's directive, of course, along with everything else. Obviously, you misrepresented the city council's vote to us on the call on October 16, 2025. The city didn't get a full survey with pins. The fill we were told, which precipitated the rush, you said now is not available for use this fall. And on your visit to the property on November 12th, you continued to misrepresent the motion that was passed by your city council. They did not vote to clear cut the easement. We have heard from others you maintain we coordinated and approved the work done after you told us falsely that the motion required all vegetation was to be removed. The only coordination that was done by Rob Stapley to arrange the work so we could be on property when it was done. Your statement in the YouTube video of the October meeting, in quotes, so whatever the council directs, that is what we will do, end quotes, did not occur. To close tonight, we were cordial, tried to work in a reasonable manner with the city manager, but he was working under false pretenses. It is unclear to us why the city council's motion was followed at the Boss property to a T, but not ours. We're not naive. We know the city can do whatever they want with their public easement. But we feel the handling of the easement in front of the Browns property was improper, did not follow the motion passed by the city council after much deliberation. As the city council noted and discussed in their October meeting, there are many variables and unknowns which could impact the timing of a sidewalk being installed between 2nd and 3rd South on 1st East. We've heard the city council also discuss possibly a walking trail if the sidewalk doesn't go in. Wouldn't it have been nice to select and save some of the larger, well-shaped trees, healthy trees, having them trimmed up as Brent in the city council meeting directed, to provide shade in the summer for those on that trail? And if the sidewalk takes much longer than planned, I know the goal is to be very fast, but sometimes things take longer than planned because the capital spending is going to be heavy. And if that sidewalk takes much longer than planned to be installed, consider what the city has done to my parents' property and the impact on the quality of residing in our home, which seems very fishbowl-like presently. You may think it looks beautiful at the end of the corner where you have to turn and get that brush cleared out. That's a great idea. Clear the brush, raise the trees there. It would give you all the visibility you need at that corner. But it's not too beautiful in front of our house right now. It looks like Armageddon. And we find it to be very sad. And I thank you for your time listening to me this evening. I was very surprised, though, that it took that much effort to be able to actually speak. That's a little sad, too. Thank you.
Okay, well, is there any?
This is quite the fun meeting. My name is Nate Worthen. I live here in Providence. Glad to be here. I have some procedural concerns about the meeting minutes that were just approved. There is the motion that was made, of course, in the last meeting. A couple of motions were made but weren't seconded, and finally we got to this motion that the city work with the contractor to clear from Brown's property northward, trim trees in front of the Browns property, and do enough clearing and grubbing to be able to do a geotechnical report clearing enough brush for a safe walking path, and hold off on clearing any trees on the south section. This includes modifying the bid with the contractor based on the reduced scope of work. Then in parentheses it says, Councilmember Kirk clarified the attached exhibit, removal of brush and weeds in the red section, trimming of trees in the green section, and only removing what is necessary in the orange section to do a geotechnical study. I'm concerned that, number one, the outcome of what was done is not consistent with the motion made by the council. Number two, I'm concerned that we don't know what the cost of the work was. The original bid was $20,300. We don't have invoices, which to me signals that we didn't get them a reduced scope and modify the bid. We should have known what the cost was going into it. I think that is partly an oversight on the council members who voted for this motion without giving some guidance or some caps to the bid, and probably some oversight or otherwise from our city staff who didn't get the bid amended before they authorized the work. The sidewalk, I agree, Mayor, is going in, and we do need safe places to walk. I'm all in favor of that. The sidewalk design and cost is unclear right now. We don't know what the sidewalk will end up looking like or what it will cost. And for those reasons, I hope that we could instill trust and transparency with our residents by taking these steps one at a time and doing our very best to follow the council's direction. Thank you.
Okay. We'll close that section of the meeting and we'll move on. We have with us tonight Abby Woolsey. Can't even read my own writing. We have a great company here in Providence, Next Meter. We love them. They do so many things for our community, for our city. And so she has an award to present.
Okay. Should I go right here?
Yeah.
Okay, so
State your name again.
yeah,
Just
I'm Abby Woolsey, and I'm on the team at Next Meters. And on behalf of our team here, we've been here for about 13 years. We just wanted to, this is our 2024 Conservation Award. So our team, essentially, we build meters, and especially for apartments and condos, multifamily units, to help conserve water and giving transparency to tenants, their bill, their exact usage. So we have 3.8 million devices installed across the US. And last year we helped, from our technology and based on EPA studies, that when people use submetering, they're able to conserve 25 to 35% of the water because of that transparency and accountability. So we helped conserve 31 billion gallons of water last year in the US. And we just want to thank Providence City for always being a great, it's a great place to be for a growing company. We love being involved in the community. We're going to have our dumpster plunge again in February. So we hope everybody can come out and jump in an icy
my
dumpster.
grandchildren thought that was,
Yeah.
when I called them and asked them to come, they
Yeah.
said, oh, but they loved it. They had such a great time.
It was awesome. And yeah, so we're grateful.
But you
for
raised money
that
as well.
Yeah, so we, along with Carrie Kirk and the Family Humanitarian Team, we've launched a nonprofit to use our technology on wells in Africa. And so through them, we've helped fund 26 villages to receive clean water this past year. We're trying to unite water professionals and everyone in our industry across the globe to take conservation to another level. No one should live without clean water. So we just want to give this award to Providence City. It's a conglomeration. It's an accumulation of all our customers and can service other people that use our technology. And yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you very much. We want to make sure that everyone understands that we want you to keep conserving. That's beautiful, actually.
So beautiful.
We have another one of those that we got maybe 4 years ago.
Yeah, and there's.
Was it 4 years?
I'll drop off. There's one more that's missing. You guys should have had last year.
Oh.
We've been doing this for 3 years.
Okay, so we got the first award that that you
Yes.
gave out.
And this past summer, we installed 5 wells on behalf of awardees and presented that to them. So we're trying to, be meaningful and careful about the water that we use.
So what would be nice is next year at this time, maybe you could report to us how those wells are doing. and what the impact has been on the people who are using that clean water,
Yes.
because that's the important part.
Yes. And
Abby, come to the mic so that it's recorded.
so one cool thing are cellular endpoints that are actually used in meter pits across the US. Those will be installed on the wells starting Q1 next year. So every time that well is pumped by villagers, that will update real time on an
So it
impact portal.
records.
Yeah. So if anyone, essentially, it will be housed under a map, and you can go in and see how much water has been produced on every single well. Last time it checked in, maintenance updates, alerts. So, and we're offering that to just vetted NGOs that are doing things the right way. And Family Humanitarian is the best example we found of that. So,
That's fantastic.
definitely report on it.
We know of other wells that have been installed and then people came along and dismantled the wells.
Yeah,
For
that's
the
our whole
parts,
goal.
and
is
so it
to-
didn't really benefit the community that it was in. So that'll be awesome to hear what's going on.
exactly keep them flowing. So, yeah,
Abby, thank you very much for coming. We'll now go to item number 2. It's the election canvas report. Providence City Council will review, discuss, and will consider for approval the city's 2025 general election canvas report from Cache County, which includes the nomination of 2 council members, and will declare those persons with the highest numbers of votes per the report as the new elected officials for Providence City come January 1st, 2025. So if anybody wants to look at those, they are on the agenda as items that you can click and bring up. So does Ty, do you want to say anything about this?
Just to recap, we did contract with the county to run our elections, as did most cities in the valley. The numbers that you see are pretty typical of what you've seen in the past, pretty close to 2 years ago. If you have any questions, let me know. It's pretty self-explanatory. I feel like they did a really good job this year doing a detailed report compared to last year. So this is a really good booklet that they came up with. As the results show, Janelle Seeley and Scott Campbell were the winners.
Okay. So we need a vote on this. So I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion that we certify the election report canvas, item number 2.
Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion?
Can I just make a comment?
Yes.
Just appreciate people being willing to support me, and I'll keep trying to work for you guys for the next 4 years. Thanks.
We've got feedback.
We have a second? Second. Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion?
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Brent, did I hear your aye?
The feedback's coming.
Feedback? Second?
Okay.
Oh, when he unmuted himself.
Oh, okay. Was that an aye?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, thank you.
Opposed. Brett, did I hear your aye?
He's a little delayed with the, because he's got.
Aye.
Okay. Do you want to tell him not to? Do you want to tell him to turn it off?
Was that an aye? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
We've got his eye now.
Yeah,
Brett, did I hear
several
your
times.
Aye. You get it?
Yeah, we've got feedback coming in on your.
There we
on your
go.
side.
You got it.
Okay, sounds good. Okay, we'll go to item number 3.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Brent, can you turn your sound down on your?
He's good now. He's muted.
Okay.
He's still
Aye.
muted.
Aye.
He's not muted.
He just unmuted himself.
You got it.
Okay.
Okay, sounds good. Okay, well,
Okay. Providence City Council review, discuss, and may approve a resolution that revises the city's personnel policy and procedures manual. So, Ryan, I think this is yours.
Yes, I'll take it. I was just texting Brent, that each time that he unmutes, we get feedback.
I got it muted.
Okay. All right. So what we have here is our insurance has come and asked us to do a certain number of items. They have about 50 items they've asked us to do. And if we do those 50 items over the next 5 years, they will waive a year's worth of insurance premium. So a little bit of an incentive to do it. Some of those items is the 360 analysis, which was sent out to you and the staff has been working on, and the Franklin Covey 7 habits. The staff is going through. That's one of our things we're working on. And one of the items that they asked us to do was to have a legal review of our personnel policy manual. And so we've had a legal review of the policy. Most of the changes are based on that. They've asked, and we've been recommended to add an AI policy, which has been added. We also added, because it's a kind of a common one, is the longevity bonus. So we've added that. And there are some things that were in one section and another. We've eliminated that. But so there is some changes there. But those are the two new policy ones. And at that point, then the rest is mostly legal. We can go through the document individually and talk about any of the little changes, or we can open up and have you ask us any questions you have. So really up to you. But that's what's come with it.
I think let's do questions that anyone might have about the policies. So, questions?
Ask questions.
As long as it's only one page. Page and a half.
It's not even a whole page.
Oh, good.
The change of the definition section, the regular full-time employee section says that they're paid on an hourly basis, and then all of the ones that are salaried, like public works, administrative services, city manager, those ones are stricken. So should we have?
We define those in our code rather than the policy. So those are already defined in a more
Right. I knew they were in the
authoritative
code.
manner. So because they're in the authoritative in the code, we've removed them here so we don't have that conflict.
But we don't need to have a benefited bullet point, a D or whatever, because that's the only thing I noticed was a difference. But I don't know if it's needed or not.
Yeah, the non-exempt employees are an employee defined by the Fair Labor Standard Act. So that the non-exempt employees, then it went to definitions. So those aren't subs of that item. Those are
They're not required because we have them listed somewhere else.
they're not subsets. So it's not a title and chapter. Those are
Right.
Okay.
I know.
Go
I
ahead.
just know that all the other 3 types of employees, well, I don't know what a non-exempt employee is, an exempt, but whatever that is, that's a federal definition. I just noticed that the regular full-time employee definition seemed slightly different from like a salaried, but maybe it's not something that needs defined. I'm not sure.
non-exempt and exempt are defined by Fair Labor Standard. That's where their definition's at. We could remove defining them as that. We're just picking that's the definition we're using.
So do
for it.
salaried employees fall under one of those?
Yes.
B and D? So they're covered.
Correct.
Okay, then that answers my question. And some of this stuff I answered as I went farther through the document, so you might be spared.
Cool.
I wondered about some of these. So in section 4, where the affirmative action was updated, and some of those things were stricken. My understanding is that some of that is due to executive orders by the current administration, that some of that stuff's been removed.
Correct.
But then the next paragraph below that, it just has like this expansive list of acts and things. Do we need to add those executive orders to that list?
So this executive order was repealed that was included here.
The purple striking was
Correct.
repealed. Right, it was repealed. But do we need to reference the executive order that did the repealing, or does it just doesn't matter?
I think if a executive order is repealed, then we remove it. At that point, this is as the attorney gave it to us.
Oh, okay.
So we can take it back there, but that was what he charged us to do, is to go through the legal side of it. I'm not an attorney, so.
No, that's fine. These are the things that came
Yeah,
up to me.
sorry.
Then there was a holiday revisions date. Is that not the same as this date? Like, so I don't know what section it's in. The holidays list.
Are you talking Juneteenth?
Yeah, but is that, I looked at the date. That didn't look like the date that we adopted the calendar for the year.
So it's the Monday of the week that Juneteenth is
That's
in.
when it is.
No, it's the date that the revision
that we actually
is.
put that in place. Is
Yeah.
that what you're saying?
Yeah. What it says, it was like September 29th of 25. I thought the date probably should be
Today's date.
today,
Yeah, that's
11/18/25. So I don't know if that was the date the attorney had it and looked at it and we picked the current date or whatever, but
revised. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll update that to today.
I think that's probably should be today.
We'll make that revision and update it.
And then
That he
that he must have reviewed
did it. So, okay.
And then on the years of service award, I just was wondering, is that something that is just awarded based on like their employment contract? Like if they started in April, they would get it on year 5 in April,
Anniversary date.
on their
yeah.
anniversary date.
Their 5-year anniversary date or their 10-year anniversary date. So,
Okay. That's all of my questions.
Okay, reasonable.
I just, page 21. The compensation for overtime, additional compensation. It used to say at a rate of 150 per week. Is that right?
Yeah,
It
that's
used to say
correct.
150 per week,
that's correct.
and now it's
That's to be
just a
determined.
determined
Right.
number,
That-
amount of money
yeah.
per week, but I guess it's probably still just based off of, like the other bonus says, based off of the budget and the city council approval.
Right.
Does that need to be added to this B part, or is this just
It was
as
just,
determined by Public Works Director and City Manager,
at this point,
open-ended?
instead of having to, if we modify that, instead of having to come back and revise the entire policy manual, that can be done through a pay scale. We have our pay scales, so at this point, our policy manual gets updated maybe every 5 years, but our pay scale comes in every other year, and is reviewed and approved by the council every other year. So at this point, because it's already approved in that document, then we would have it there instead of on this one. We didn't want to have a conflict of those. And where this is raised less often than that one, that was the thought. We can leave it, we can change it to what you want, but that's the thought to
It
explain.
looked kind of open-ended
Yeah,
with,
but-
I mean, before it was specific to 150 per week, but I was just curious if it needed to be more specific in that section of the policy.
I would think maybe there has to be some flexibility, just because I think overtime is usually emergency situations, water line breaks or crazy snow or something
Yeah.
like that. But I don't think,
It-
I mean, we could add in that line that is in number 10 on what, page 29, it says subject to the availability of funds appropriated by the city council. through
Yeah,
the
because
budget
I like that part in that section 9, whatever, years of service awards. I liked how it was more specific instead of open-ended, but
which I mean,
But that's more controllable than overtime, right?
yeah. The overtime page 21.
This is the on-call pay. Yeah, that's not overtime. Right. It's not overtime. It's the on-call pay. Right. So we pay one person this rate per week for them to be on call.
well, that's on call and not overtime.
No, this is on call. So this is the
On-call.
on call. We pay them. So at this point, this is not overtime, nor is this. This is just a, hey, you're the one that's on call this week, and we pay them at this point 150.
Regardless
a
of
week.
what their regular pay is.
Right.
Oh, I see.
So the 150 scratched, and then it'll just be determined.
Yes. That
from-
way we
from
can
the budget.
determine
Okay.
whether that's water, whether there's a change. But because of rate specifically tied into the policy, the council approves the budget in wages. The council approves the salary. We have a salary study that we address. So our thought was to remove it.
Because of rates
specific here.
specifically tied into the policy.
That's reasons.
But
The
we
council,
can leave it if you want.
budget, wages,
I'm just curious what
council
the
approves
variance,
the,
like the variation of.
the salary.
We've got feedback again.
The variation of the on call, like what the compensation is different, because, and you can help me understand, but there's the compensation for actually being on call,
Mhm.
and then if they had to come in to deal with, some significant issue, wouldn't that be addressed in overtime?
Correct.
That would be
This-
over and above
everybody-
150.
Everybody that is on call or is on the schedule is currently paid that 150 hours or $150 a week. The
It takes
person
the
that's
emergency
assigned,
calls for the weekend?
yes, the person that's assigned to take the calls for that week is paid this rate.
I see.
So that's just all that's changing. It won't be 150. It'll just be a different determined number.
If we determine that we can't get somebody to work on Christmas for that, we may have to incentivize something. There is weeks that people don't want to work.
Yeah. No, I get it. I was just
So, I mean, it gives the flexibility for us to be able to do something.
And you don't have to keep coming back here to get it changed because it's in the policy.
it's like an auction for who wants Christmas week.
Yeah.
Nobody.
But until you keep upping the number, right?
Especially not for
Okay.
$100.
So
Sure.
but this is what we're paying because it's in the policy. That's what we follow. And that's the rate that anybody that takes a week on call is paid at this rate. But there are some weeks that would be good to be able to have some difference. And we're just kind of asking for, the Public Works Director and I are asking for a little flexibility, but it still has to be within the budget. It still has to be within the umbrella of all the other pieces of the puzzle. So anyway.
Okay.
I just had one other question.
Brent had his hand up earlier, so let's.
Okay, we can
Brent,
come back to me later.
You have a question?
He's muted.
Does he
I
have-
did, but I believe it got answered, so I apologize.
No problem. Thank you. Sorry we took a minute to get to you.
How do full-time employees feel about getting permission for a secondary job? I know if it conflicts and interrupts their full-time city job. We don't like that. But anyway, that's on page 43.
Let me look at that one here because I think what we're looking at.
I don't know what it means. I just, if someone working full-time for the city needs a second job and
I
they
think
have
that
to
was.
get permission and it's either approved or disapproved that they can have a secondary job with their full-time city job.
I've never had anybody complain on mine. Have you had anybody who's before?
Ask for.
Permission to have a
complain
secondary
about
job.
having to ask?
No, no complaint.
Uh,
It's been in the policy for quite some time. We just relocated it to make more sense from where it used to be to where it is now, I think.
So there was one spot that it was listed somewhere else. We removed it there and added the paragraph down here. So it's the same policy. It was deleted in one spot and added back in another.
Still need permission to have a secondary job.
Yeah. And we have some that do. I mean, we have one that works as a part-time firefighter. We have some that work other ones. As long as it doesn't, the thing we have to balance is when they get when they're on the on-call, we need to be able to make sure that that's not a conflict with that position. But we have some that have other employment. So hasn't been a problem to ask. It hasn't been a problem to be there. So, and it's been a long-standing policy. So it was just in two places. The comment was it's in two places, and we cut it out of one, put it into this one, so that it was in the same section.
That's all. I didn't see anything else.
Okay, Janelle, you had another question? Okay. Okay, so I'll entertain a motion to approve.
I'll make a motion that we approve item number 3. Excuse me. Resolution 08-2025, revisions to city's personnel policy and procedures manual, and that we approve.
Okay, we have a motion. We have a second.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. Further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Okay, we don't have any contracts or agreements, no plans or other business, no study items, staff reports. Ryan, we'd love to hear from you.
Okay. Well, I have, the last 2 days I spent 16 hours in training, and so I'm because of my CPA license, I have to take 40 hours of training every year, and so I try to do that. Try to do it in a slower time in the fall, and so anyway, I've spent the last days, but I made it back in time to be here. I will have the training to the National League of Cities and Towns the rest of the week. So anyway, it's Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. So a couple of things just going down the list. The auditors will be here next week. Our independent auditors will be here next week. If you have noticed, the emergency generator has been installed to this building. So we'll now be able to use this building for emergencies that may arise. Winter parking is in effect, and Mary has her flyers and tickets, and she's charged with doing enforcement. I think that there's a lot that are compliant, and she's helped educate. But we're a reminder that winter parking is in effect now. Want to make sure everybody's aware that the group home variance was denied, which we appreciate the work of all involved. Certainly we've learned, and we learned from each of the events that go on. The Hillcrest Playground has been ordered. I'm not sure the install date, but it has been ordered and being made. So it should show up soon up there. We have sent out a survey for feedback for the Grandview Park and what items people would like to see in that. And so we're compiling that information, and we'll get it to our designers, and then they'll come back with a couple other options, and be able to present those options, and we'll send it back to the public and see what options they want there.
So we sent that out on our social media.
We did.
Okay.
We did. And we put it out in our newsletter. So we appreciate all the good feedback we got. So the Thompson field is making great progress. That field is coming along. They're putting in the irrigation, and we're hoping, we'll see if the weather holds out, but we're hoping to get it planted and see where things go. Road crew's been busy doing patching and getting things ready for the winter. They've got the snow plows mostly prepared. We have a contractor that's working on repairing sidewalks. If you'll recall, we had Premier Concrete Cutting over the past couple of years help us with our survey of all of our sidewalks. We've mapped them. We've determined where all the trip hazards were. We fixed over 7,000 trip hazards in various areas, and those that weren't able to be repaired through cuts of the sidewalk needed to have pieces of the sidewalk removed and replaced, and the contractor is working on that, starting in our downtown area. I think they started about Second West and First North. So
How long will they be able to keep doing work?
until
Will
it's
they be able to
covered
do
in
it through the
snow.
winter? No.
They could. There is additives. There is things they can do concrete, but when it's not feasible for them, they'll stop and then they'll come back in the spring and continue. So anyway, but just kind of repairing and fixing in our areas down there.
We ought to show in our council meeting, we ought to like have a map of where they've done and where they're going to do. That would be nice to see that.
Can I ask one more question? I had a text I forgot to mention before, but about a link for a city survey that had gone out that didn't have the city logo on it. So I'm guessing that it was not a city survey.
Do you know what it was for?
Was it for the park?
And I didn't get it myself, but I had a resident send it to me. Hold on. I had it pulled up and then it disappeared. It was for Dinata. Dinatapolis. I don't know.
I'm not aware of it, so I'm
Okay.
going to say that it was.
So if it's from the city, it should have the city logo on
Should
it.
have the city logo on it.
Yeah. Okay.
And come through our channels. Anyway.
There
the
is
pipeline-
Providence, Rhode Island too, and I get things for Providence, Rhode Island. So,
We do get things that way.
Okay.
yeah.
So, the parks and restrooms have been winterized. We're getting ready for the tree lighting in December. It's the first Thursday, right? December 4th. So, we've had completed the purchase of the new Ram 5500. We've purchased the new plow truck. We've completed those. And so hopefully they'll be ready for the new season. The one that was in the wreck has been in various phases of being fixed, and we're still hopeful that it's ready for the season.
This is the one that turned upside down.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. We're working on replacing water meters throughout. Last year we replaced over 1,000 water meters. This year we're replacing about the same amount, and by the time we're done, we hope to move to complete tower read. That's our desire and direction that we're working towards. So we're working towards that. They're changing out the meters, and this winter we're going to be moving to a year-round read because we'll be reading from the tower. Oftentimes we stop the truck driving around and some of that throughout the winter, but so we will have some need to be flexible and as we learn and the residents adjust to this, there will be some adjustments, and we'll try to work with them and work through the process this winter, because this will be our first winter reading all winter long and billing accordingly. So We're working on the design of the well house. The well's been drilled, and we're just working on the design, and then we'll look to start building that probably spring or summer of next year. So, 1200 South, the sewer line is under design, and have a meeting tomorrow in order to go over the path. This is the sewer that connects from our meters to Logan's system, and we're working on being able to upsize that. At this point, it's to capacity. At least that's what they tell me. I haven't swam in it, but they tell me it's to capacity and that it needs there. And so, anyway, we're working on that design. There are a few options and a few routes, but anyway, we'll let you know more. And then with fiber, we continue to have more installs and drops connected. At this point, our new record is of residents on is 1,876, and we continue to grow and build that system. Each of our funds are operating in positive territory. We are seeing a bump in our sales tax from some of our new businesses, and so that's a good thing. And so we're in good financial shape, and a lot's going on in each of our funds and business units. So if there's any questions, I'll take those.
I don't have a question, but I do have a comment. Thank you for all you do. We appreciate the things that you have accomplished in our city much more than ever before. And we appreciate your willingness to serve. You spend lots of hours here, but it makes us all look good. So thank you.
The breadth of your assignments is expansive. So, thank you.
And the fact that you continue to do continuing ed for your CPA training, I mean, that's been invaluable to us to have that. Not all city managers have that. So
I'm kind of a white elephant that way. There's only a handful.
Golden
of
elephant,
us.
maybe. Well, thank you for all you do. Anyone else have anything? Then we're at the end of the agenda. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Make a motion that we adjourn.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, next meeting is in December.